The old mechanic would never forget the morning a small girl wandered into his garage, tears streaking down her dusty cheeks, clutching a pink bike with a twisted wheel. He fixed it for free, thinking it was just another small act of kindness. But he couldn't have known that this simple moment would come back to transform his life forever. It was an unusually warm morning in the quiet town of Brookfield. The air smelled faintly of oil and rust, and inside a tiny garage on Maple Street, Ethan Cole, a 42-year-old mechanic, worked on an old pickup truck that seemed as tired as he was. His shop, Cole's Auto Repair, was more than just a workspace. It was his last thread of hope. Two rusted cabinets, a flickering bulb, and a cracked window were all he had. Life hadn't been kind to Ethan, but he'd learned that kindness didn't cost anything, and sometimes that was all a man could offer. As he tightened a bolt, the squeak of the front door caught his ear. Excuse me, sir," a small voice whispered. Turning around, Ethan saw a little girl, maybe 9 years old, standing shyly beside a pink bicycle with a bent rim and a dangling chain. Her shoes were worn, her dress patched, and her eyes were filled with worry. Ethan smiled gently. "Hey there, sweetheart. What happened to your bike?" I fell," she murmured, biting her lip. "Mom's at work and I don't have any money, but I really needed to get to school." Something inside Ethan stirred. For a moment, he saw his own daughter, Mia, who would have been about the same age if she were still alive. He forced a smile. "Tell you what, how about we fix it together?" Her eyes widened. "Really? But I can't pay." "Then you'll just have to pay me in smiles." He chuckled. She giggled, a sound so pure it filled the dusty garage with warmth. For the next half hour, Ethan showed her how to clean the gears, realign the wheel, and reattach the chain. She watched every move, mimicking him with small, eager hands. Her name was Sophie Miller. She lived nearby with her mom. Her dad had passed away 2 years earlier, and life hadn't been easy since. When the job was done, the bike looked almost brand new. "There you go, Miss Sophie," Ethan said, standing back with a proud grin. "Good as new." She smiled so wide it nearly broke his heart. "Thank you, Mr. Ethan. It's perfect." She rummaged through her tiny backpack and pulled out 2 wrinkled dollar bills. "Please take it. It's all I have." Ethan knelt down, closing her small hand around the money. "Keep it. Maybe buy yourself some ice cream." Her eyes shimmered. "You're really nice, Mr. Ethan." He smiled softly. "Sometimes, kiddo, the world just needs a little more nice." As she pedaled away, Ethan stood by the doorway, watching her disappear down the road. For the first time in a long while, he felt something lift inside him, something lighter than any paycheck. Weeks turned into months. The bills piled up, business slowed, and Ethan started to wonder how much longer he could hold on. Still, he kept showing up, because that's what good men do. Then one afternoon, just as he was closing the shop, a sleek black car pulled up to the curb. The kind of car that didn't belong in front of his shabby little garage. A well-dressed woman stepped out, elegant, confident, yet her eyes glistened with emotion. "Are you Ethan Cole?" she asked. Ethan nodded cautiously. "Yes, ma'am. That's me. Can I help you?" "You already did," she replied softly. Before he could ask how, the car door opened, and Sophie jumped out, beaming. "Mr. Ethan," she shouted, running toward him. "Sophie?" he said in surprise. The woman smiled. "I'm Olivia Miller, Sophie's mother. I wanted to meet the man my daughter calls her hero." Ethan blinked, confused. "Hero?" Olivia nodded, her eyes misty. "That day you fixed her bike for free. You didn't just fix metal, you restored hope. I'd lost my husband, was barely keeping us afloat, and that one act of kindness reminded me that good still exists. It gave me strength when I had none left." Ethan swallowed hard, his throat tightening. Olivia continued, "That moment inspired me. I started a small project called Sophie's Wheels, a program that refurbishes bikes for kids who can't afford them. It's grown faster than I ever dreamed, and it all began because of you." She handed him an envelope. Inside was an offer, salary, benefits, and a position managing their new repair and training center. "I want you to run it," she said. "You gave us hope when you had nothing to give. Let us return the favor." Ethan's hands trembled. Tears blurred his vision. I don't know what to say." Olivia smiled warmly. "Just say yes." Sophie ran to hug him tightly. "See, Mr. Ethan, I told Mommy you were the nicest man ever." He laughed through his tears. "Looks like you were right again, kiddo." Months later, a brand new Sophie's Wheels Center stood proudly where Ethan's old garage once was. The walls were bright, the tools gleamed, but the heart of the place was the same, filled with purpose, laughter, and second chances. Ethan now taught young people from struggling families how to repair bikes and believe in themselves again. Every morning, Sophie stopped by with cookies and her boundless joy. One evening, as the sun set over Maple Street, Olivia turned to Ethan. "You know," she said, smiling, "when you fixed that little bike, you started something far bigger than you realized." Ethan looked out at the rows of shiny bicycles. "Sometimes," he said softly, "it's the smallest repairs that fix the biggest things." And as he watched Sophie pedal away into the golden light, laughter echoing through the air, Ethan realized something profound. When you fix something small for someone else, sometimes the universe finds a way to fix what's broken inside you. Because even the tiniest act of kindness can create ripples that change lives forever.